So I tasted guinea pig, an Ecuadorian delicacy, and my honest thoughts on trying this grilled rodent are at the end of this video. So keep watching. I found myself in Quito, Ecuador, the oldest capital city in all of South America, for a 2-split-day layover. 1 day each on the way to and back from my trip to the Amazon jungle, which of course has to have its own video. With very little time and a strong desire to avoid wandering the maze-like streets of Quito like an old Pakistani uncle searching for a Wi-Fi signal, I decided to hire a local food guide to make the most of it. So I went with a company called Bondabu Tours, who ended up sending the very knowledgeable and well-versed Natalia.
Hi, this is Natalia. Come try some food and check out some of
Hey!
Short on time, I reluctantly set aside my inner explorer foodie and let Natalia help me navigate these historic markets. In this video, we're exploring these ancient streets and some food plazas to try the local food, from cold dishes to hot dishes, from fruits to cold beverages to seafood. We'll wrap it up with cuy, the guinea pig I mentioned at the start. And along the way, you'll see some street art, beautiful buildings, random conversations about life and culture, and then a bit of history. So let's go. Our first stop was Plaza Arenas. Imagine an open-air hardware store like Home Depot, but with a bit more fresh air and a lot more repair work. Since our food tour was on a Sunday, I don't recommend that. Most of these repair shops were closed, but the juice station was buzzing. Why? Because nothing cures a Saturday night hangover like fresh fruit juices. So, fresh fruit juices, a daily Ecuadorian staple. Today, we're sampling Naranjilla Juice, a fruit that looks like an orange, but it's actually more closely related to a tomato. The flavor? It's a tangy, citrusy delight with a hint of earthiness, kind of like an orange and a tomato decided to band together.
Tomato is also like a very local plant. So it's like very tart, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow. But it's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a tomato. When you crack it open, it's green on the inside. And it's a little tart, so she had to add some sugar. But overall, great drink.
With juices in to-go cups, we wandered over to a nearby food court for some Corvina frita.
This is Corvina frita. It's a white fish.
Okay.
Kind of like halibut. Local fish, super fresh, and we eat it with fried potatoes. Normally, we have also a rice portion, but I think this way it's that much more yummy, so I really enjoy it.
Good. I like it this one. This is good.
Yeah. This is also pretty typical. Tomato as a salad, and I like the combination of the flavor because you have really fried food and then really fresh, citrusy, colorful salad to balance everything. So,
And the lime goes on the fish?
yes, the lime goes on fish.
And then this is ají, you said, right?
Yeah,
Which is made of...
it's chili, tree tomato, cilantro, tomato, and probably garlic. Yes. It's a white
Fried fish.
White fried fish, but the texture is different. It's almost like chicken,
Yeah.
not too flaky.
And Corvina is a type of fish, right?
Yeah, Corvina is a type of fish.
The way she made it, though, is like...
It's a halibut.
And it packs a lot of flavor. She salted it really nice. It's soft on the inside. It's crispy on the outside. And I'm gonna add some lemon to it now, or lime,
Yeah.
and see how that goes.
The fish was a solid hit with the taste buds, but the cool, non-overpowering breeze caressing our faces in this vibrant food court with a view turned out to be the true highlight. Sometimes it's just not about what you're eating, but how pleasantly the universe conspires to make it all feel perfect.
So this is Plaza Sucre, right? Sucre.
Yes, Teatro, Sucre.
Teatro.
We continued our stroll, with Natalia dropping knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb about street art, culture, and history.
90% of the population is Catholic. The majority of people do not practice Catholicism as much, but in their mindset and traditions are pretty conservative. Women's rights are still in struggle. Feminist movements are starting to take over like the scene a little bit more, but still society is very traditional on the role of women and the role of men, but it's starting to change.
More equality is kind of coming in.
Yeah, kind of more like it recently become abortion cases have recently become legal,
Okay.
which is a huge step forward.
That is a huge step forward.
Yes, and also,
A lot of countries are not even there yet,
yeah, and
like the
also,
United States.
They went back.
Yeah, they keep going back and forth.
That's crazy. Well, so now we're leaving like the historic part of the city.
Okay.
Just walking towards the.
Bye-bye.
Nos vemos. Walking to the more modern part of the city. You're gonna see how quickly the architecture changes from pretty colonial to a bit more like 70s structures, more straight lines.
Good analysis.
Now to this side with this beautiful sky, we have one of the biggest churches in the city. It's called Basilica. Basilica del Voto Nacional.
That was the one with the tower,
Yeah.
and you pay a little bit to go up there.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You can go up there if you want. It's a pretty cool church, Gotham style. I don't know if you've been in France.
Yes.
But
It has very European vibes to it.
yeah, Gotham style, similar to Notre Dame. But with some Ecuadorian touches.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Stunning.
school. So, but we put our little Ecuadorian touch to the church. So if you can see, in between those little triangle-shaped like windows, you can see like a Galapagos tortoise.
Oh shit,
Different
yeah.
Ecuadorian animals.
Hang on, let me zoom in it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I see the turtles, yes.
Yes, and also like there's like crocodile, like iguana, instead of gargoyles, which is pretty nice.
That is
Kind
cool.
of funny.
The roads are very San Francisco.
Yes, completely hilly.
Yeah, very hilly. Up and down.
Yes, as we speak, we're in a mountain. Quito is a city between mountains, located in a mountain. So everything is gonna be pretty much like this. So this area is called Santa Prisca. It's the beginning of the old town, or the end, depends where you stand. Has a lot of French influence in the architecture. As you can see, a lot of balconies as well. This type of windows, pretty French-like.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. The colors also, they did good with the colors.
This is like a very San Francisco look. And the building in San Francisco now look like this. No upkeep.
I've heard that one of my friends went to San Francisco last month and she says it was pretty expensive.
It's expensive, and unfortunately, it's not as safe as it used to be.
Yeah, it's full.
So this was the first school that separated church and state.
Yes, it's called Colegio Mejia. We can see the front door. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Huge school. They're also known because they're like the best at physics and math.
Oh, really?
So they do everything. Yeah, like they're like everything is like.
So they're revered and respected as far as education
Exactly.
is concerned.
As far as everything, also like in sports, they always win everything. They're like, I don't know. I wish I'd gone there.
That's hilarious.
It's a public school, so it's pretty hard to get in.
Well, I'm borderline atheist, so that's funny. I always challenge ideas and thoughts.
They teach the kids to think.
Yeah, think.
Question everything.
Yes.
Like stories that sound, but what do you think? Yeah, so this is the entrance. Pretty cool. Oh, I want to show you some graffitis here.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Let's check them out. So there's this Colombian girl, and she recently did an art residence here.
Uh-huh.
So she did this graffiti.
That's cool.
Pretty young, pretty funky, always taking up public space. This graffiti says, "Leave me alone."
That's very cool.
Ex-wife of a police officer and got killed inside the police school. And everyone heard it, everyone knew what happened, and everyone just kept quiet. And now it's in international court
Huh.
because she was killed inside of the police facilities.
When was she killed? 2022?
2022, yes.
Her name was Maria Bernal.
Ajá, María Belen Bernal. Let's check some more art this way. Definitely recognize the style.
Yep, it's from that same girl, huh?
Yeah, it's from the same girl. And this Italian artist.
Hola.
There's no. Sí, ¿cómo está? Disculpe. ¿Qué tiene? Churros. Qué rico, ¿ves? So there's this Italian artist that does these huge faces all over Quito. This one is R, same girl, and this pretty cool letter is from a local artist called Caro. She does these letters all over the city as well. It's like a whole alphabet, but it's kind of hard to like actually understand each letter. I like them a lot for like a tattoo.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
looks like your tattoo style.
Yeah.
Very Asian influence.
Yes.
That too, and that one as well.
Yeah, it's a cool piece of art. Local experience to show like the true face of the city, not just the touristic, pretty clean stuff, because it's not what everyday people experience.
Well, if it wasn't for you, I would have never have been here. So
It was one of those walks that doesn't just take you from point A to B, but expands your mind and sends your neurons on a delightful detour. Despite being a food tour, Natalia's insightful knowledge of cultural nuances and eco-political issues in Ecuador consistently impressed me. A wholesome experience indeed.
that's cool.
Our next stop wasn't a food stop, although it could have been if we had any room left in our tummies. Instead, we strolled through a fresh seafood plaza, taking in the sights.
Woohoo!
I've always just enjoyed walking around fish markets. I don't know why. It just intrigues the heck out of me. Maybe I was a fisherman in my last life. We marveled at the variety of fish and noted the live crabs dramatically skewered on sticks, with a whole skewer going for 20 USD. Heck, I mean, in the USA, each of these little guys goes for way over 20. Natalia also pointed out the Corvina that we had at the food court prior. And then we had a gentleman that requested some camera time, and that's what he got.
Soy Belen, Ecuador. Aquí estamos en Quito, donde vienen todos los mariscos de la provincia de Esmeralda. Mira, te explico. Tengo el lomo de picudo, tengo corvina, tengo cazón de leche, el atún rosado. Esta se llama el cazón blanco. A diferencia, tenemos los camarones extra grandes. Este es un camarón que marca 16 libras. Tengo el camarón Tití, le dicen, porque es pequeño. En la partecita de acá arriba tenemos el pulpo octopus.
Octopus.
Sí, el pulpo octopus. Tenemos el calamar baby, como dijo Justin Bieber, baby. Aquí tenemos el calamar pota.
Now, there's no way I'm visiting a South American country and not trying empanadas, especially the ones that my guide kept raving about. Natalia had mentioned these empanadas at least 3 times since we met. She boldly declared that they'd be the best I'd ever had. A claim that sets the bar somewhere between life-changing and let's see if it's worth the hype. So when we finally arrived at the spot, bustling with a constant flow of eager customers and good vibes, I knew there was no turning back.
Okay, esto es empanada de verde. It's like green plantain mashed and deep fried with a filling of cheese and shrimp. So
That's cheese, that's shrimp.
yes, this is cheese, this is shrimp. What I like to do is like do like the other like this, so the hot air comes out from it. I'm gonna cut it in half so
Yeah, that's good.
we can share it. There's some shrimp.
Oh my god,
Pretty delicious.
that looks delicious.
And the cheese filling.
Yum.
Yeah. Since you have this roll, you have to try it first, and then we put like this fermented ají.
Yes,
It's another way of ají, but it's
it's gonna go with this.
kind of like kimchi, very fermented and very spicy.
So respect the chef. Have a bite without the sauces. This tops the list. This is empanada de camarones. And this little mash you see in there is made from plantains. And then the casing is also made from plantains, but is the right amount of crisp. And then you chew in, it just melts in your mouth. Buenísimo, gracias.
It was worth the hype. Definitely top 3 empanadas I've ever had in my lifetime. After that, we walked over to another food plaza across the street from the empanada place. Wish we had these many food plazas in the US, but we don't. Okay, I do adore hole-in-the-wall spots, but crowded food courts or enclosed fresh markets with eateries also do hold their own charm. The mix of aromas floating in the air, coupled with the background laughter, offers insights into the general mood of the area. Naturally, I strolled around like the curious cat that I am, soaking in the sights and admiring how beautifully everything was laid out. Each stall a little universe of flavors waiting to be explored. Did I ever tell you that I was always that kid that disappeared in open markets? Yeah, I am personally responsible for a good chunk of my mom's gray hair collection. I had the chance to try some other fruits local to this region. This one was granadilla.
This is actually the first meal that babies have here.
What?
When they start eating solid food, so you crack it open like this. And it has many seeds.
A sweet and tart passion fruit.
Sweet, like honey.
And then I tried taxo.
So similar to this, but super sour. We normally eat these in a smoothie with milk and sugar because it's very sour, but it's really, really aromatic.
An elongated fruit with a very tangy flavor. Both fruits were cousins that contained seeds surrounded by a gelatinous pulp.
Smells like a flower of some kind. I can't really place which one. I do like it.
Many nations have national and renowned hangover remedies. Mexico has menudo, Peru has leche de tigre, Thailand has cow tom, USA has, well, a glass of Bloody Mary, also known as the hair of the dog cure. Anyway, here at the plaza we relished Encebollado, Ecuador's national hangover cure, known for resurrecting the half-dead with its tangy broth and tender chunks of fish. Natalia loaded this up with all sorts of unexpected extras, turning it into a full-blown flavor explosion. One spoonful, and I could see why it's the go-to for the morning after. A mix of savory, spicy, crunchy, and surprising in every bite.
So I got me some tuna, there's some yuca in here, onions, other spices. As you saw, mustards and oils and some other things were added. Some people add popcorn to this thing. I'm not gonna do that. And the broth is not fishy. It's extremely rich. You got lemon, onions, other herbs coming together, but it's absolutely delicious. One of the better soups I've had in a while, I would say. So thank you for bringing me here.
Now, someday I'll just have to put it to the test and see if it actually works. I'm a little old for that, but it's worth a shot. We began our slow march to the next destination, with Natalia playing the part of a local historian, pointing out the cultural quirks etched into the city's architecture.
That should be like an art gallery or a restaurant. Something, We cannot see too much is guagua. The one that is a little bit here is ruco, and the one with the antenna, it's pichincha.
Okay.
So
that's
guagua,
three mountains coming together.
Three mountains coming together. So guagua means child in the Quechua. Guagua pichincha, baby mountain. Then it's ruco pichincha. Ruco means slept in Quechua. So it's sleepy mountain because it's not active for years. And then Pichincha is just.
So it's
the
a
name of the
volcano.
place. It's a volcano, yes.
Gotcha. I love the cities up top.
Yeah, nice, right? Middle Eastern
So that's what?
traditional Parisian.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Middle Eastern. Colombian Spanish.
Colonial Spanish. There's
And this is like a mix. So many beautiful buildings, but not in use.
Somewhere along the way, we made an unplanned stop to buy a beer. Not from a bar, mind you, but from someplace I am still trying to classify. Corner store? Speakeasy? Parallel universe? I still have no idea. But what I do know is that the beer was well earned. A cold, liquid reward that felt like a small act of salvation after a day's worth of walking, eating, and deciphering the city's mysteries. Okay, outdoor experiences are also enjoyable. Natalia led us to a vibrant, shaded area with colorful shops where we savored incredibly fresh ceviche. So much so that it was served warm. The kitchen had run out, but they prepared us a fresh batch promptly to avoid any delay for us. Conflicted feelings, as my brain expects ceviche to be cold. But I must admit, all the flavors were present. All right, we're nearing the end of this culinary journey, and as promised, it's guinea pig time, known as cuy here. But first, some dark comedy time. And I am so thankful that no one got hurt. So you see, the restaurant where we were supposed to have our cuy got robbed just minutes before we arrived. And the doors were locked when we had arrived at first. Yep, you heard that right. The place got hit, and then they shut down. But then in true "the show must go on" fashion, they called us back once they had reopened.
Hola.
Ready to serve up some post-robbery rodent. So we arrived at the place to beautiful smiles despite just being robbed, and she served us our guinea pig.
Please.
Okay. So,
Poor chap.
what did guinea pig taste like?
I ate most of it. Did not eat the skin because I just didn't like the texture and I think it was extremely salty. So I tried it about 3 times, didn't like it. My rule is 3 times. Put it aside, went straight for the meat. How would I describe the meat? It's gelatinous. It wasn't gamey. It had a little bit of like a smell to it, but I would explain it as more like an herby smell. And then if I were to compare it to something else that I've had before, I think I would compare it closest to rabbit. So that's my review. My dear guide asked what I would rate it out of 10. I'd give it a 7.5. But definitely worth coming here for it.
Now, I'm not one to easily get grossed out by unique and unconventional flavors from different cultures, even if they're a bit out there. In fact, I'm fascinated by how these foods have deep historical roots with recipes that have stood the test of time. And for those of you that share my South Asian genetic mix, don't you dare come at me with ew or gross as you enjoy your brain masalas and goat testicle curries with hot steaming naan. Sounds delicious, by the way. But yeah, half the world thinks that's gross. So it just boils down to perspective, yeah?
Wow, amazing. This was the star of the show.
And big thanks to the restaurant lady for the mango popsicle. It was delicious. A sweet ending after my experimental guinea pig meal.
The communist dog. A very protest-driven street.
The tour wrapped up with a vibrant stroll over to the Bondabu tour offices. I've wandered many streets in my lifetime, but Quitos are something else. The city streets are a tapestry of color, with striking art and murals brightening every corner that tell different yet interconnecting tales. Hills loom in the background, adding a dramatic backdrop to the scene. The air is filled with a mix of enticing smells and the lively chatter of locals, creating an atmosphere that is as captivating as it is immersive. The Bondabu offices had a vibe of their own, a true art powerhouse building. It wasn't just the eye-catching wall art that stood out.
Oh, I love this art. This is from Pamela Pinto.
They had transformed a urinal into a flower pot. So cool.
The city of cool bathrooms.
And showcased a bathroom so stylish that I had forgotten I need a smartphone to do my business. The hospitality did not end at the last food stop. The incredible Natalia and her colleague treated me to locally sourced chocolate and a freshly crafted paloma at their office.
That's why it's
Wow.
This is a normal white chocolate, which is normally not chocolate.
Well, salute to you and your knowledge and the fun.
And Natalia, you are a knowledge powerhouse, and I learned so much about Quito in such a short time, all thanks to you. Thank you for making this experience truly unforgettable, and although this is not a paloma, cheers anyway. Audience family, you could be anywhere, but you're here with me on my journey around the streets of Quito. Thrilled to have shared this experience with you, but there is much more to come. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Cheers and adios.